So today we are in John chapter 1 as we read through the Bible chronologically. If Jesus is our personal trainer, we want to see how did he live? What did he say? How did he respond to people? Like, that's how we find out what our trainer, if people are clients of mine, then they listen to the words I say. They watch the actions that I do. If I'm giving them a movement that I'm going to do today, I don't know how many clients I had. I worked from 7:30 straight to 1 after the other. And I was thinking about it, how that every time I asked them to do a move, I modeled the move for them. I talked them through it. I gave them form cues. When I felt like they were ready, I gave them extra weight to create more tension. Like, that is exactly how Jesus trains us in the Word of God. He shows us how to do it. We listen to him. He gives us form cues. When it's time, he applies the pressure to us and to create the tension so that he changes us, so that he grows us. So let's look at John chapter 1 through 18. And I love it. In the beginning was the Word. The Word was with God, and the Word was God. And this word is capitalized. And we know that this word is Jesus. This is Jesus. So before we read about Jesus being born as a baby, he was before that. He was in the beginning. He was the Word of God. He is the action. God has an idea and he speaks it out. It tells us in the beginning, it says, and God said, let there be light. That is Jesus. When God thinks it and the action of it happening, going forth and happening, that is Jesus. And do I understand that all the way? Absolutely not. But if I had a God that I can understand, then my God would be too small. So that is what it is. It's logos. That means the Word of God. It is this thing right here that I'm holding, these words of God in the Bible. That is Jesus. That is our Jesus. So there's two things it tells us. Or three things really I want to point out. That the Word, Jesus, was in the beginning. He has been. He always has been. He's been part of the Trinity from the beginning. He was part of the plan making from the beginning. They were all together. Then it tells us that he was light. In him was life, and that life was the light of men. The light shines in the darkness, yet the darkness did not overcome it. It takes us right back to the beginning. There was chaos. And the Holy Spirit hovered there, and God said, let there be light, and Jesus created this light, which produces life. They kind of go hand in hand if you look in the original language. And so Jesus, this that we're studying, our trainer, he is bringing us life and life abundant. When we do things his way, when we live in his light, when we reflect his light, that's true abundant life. And so so there we have that. And then it tells us that the Word became flesh and he dwelt among us. Okay, so this word that in the beginning, it was this action of God creating things and doing things among his people. It has now, and so he has now become flesh. He has put on a suit of skin. He has said, okay, I'm going to confine myself to this fleshly being just as my creation is, so that I can save them and so that I can identify with them, so that I understand them, so that I am compassionate towards them. And so that is who Jesus is. He is the Word that has become flesh, but it doesn't stop there. It says that he dwelt among us. That word dwelt there, if you look it up in the original language, it means tabernacle or tent. And so I want you to think about this. In the beginning, God was walking with Adam and Eve in the cool of the evening, walking and talking and dwelling with them. Sin comes. So the plan begins to come into play, because that is what he wants. That was the goal. That is his desire, to be with us in that way. So we fast forward a little bit, and here they are walking in the wilderness, and he wants to be among them. And so they build they put together this place where God can come. They put this tent up that they put down and pick up and put down and pick up every time they move, and it has this place that's set up so that God can dwell with them. And then they built this tabernacle, and it has this special room in it. And if you read about the tabernacle and how God set it up, it reflects back to Eden, back to this place of dwelling together, being together. God just wants to be with us. He wants to dwell with us. He wants to have a relationship with us and interact with us. And then we get to the New Testament. And here it is. He's like, hey, okay, this isn't working. I need to be with my people. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to send Jesus. And I'm going to tear the veil. And now we have this relationship. And not only that, but this is now where I'm going to tent up in them. My tabernacle is now their heart. And our hearts reflect that Eden, that experience of dwelling and being with God. And so today, as we think about what is our trainer takeaway, it's number one, realizing that Jesus has always been. He's been a part of the plan. That his light is life, and it is what gets us. Following his light, reflecting his light, being in his light gives us abundant life. And he is that personal trainer that will be with you 24/7. That he is dwelling in you. He is dwelling with you if you know him, if you are his child. And if you're not, message me and let's talk about it and figure out how to get you there. He is with you all the time. I see this meme floating around sometimes. It's like, I don't need a personal trainer. I need a nutritionist that'll walk around and hit my hand so that I won't eat something, blah, blah, blah. Which is funny, but here's the thing. Jesus is with you all the time. He will help you know when to walk and when to stand, when to move, what to eat, how to respond. It is the Word of God is living and active, and we are living and active. That means we're interacting with one another. It is an interactive relationship that he wants to have with you. And that is your takeaway today. That let him be involved in every part. Let him truly be your personal trainer. Cheers.